What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. Shout out to Anjane23. Um, and then I don't know how I know about this part. DL Huguley condemns Black Twitter for lack of compassion about Queen's death. First of all, go to hell, DL. He's a double agent, everybody. He's a double agent. I always tell you we have to separate the weeds from the grass, and we have to stop celebrating Negroes who have attained any level of fame and white acceptance in this nation. We must turn our backs on them the moment they reveal that they are not 100% in the corner of African people. We can't have lane straddlers. There is no in between. You are 100% with us or you're exactly against us. There is no middle ground. You'll recall that after the self-inflicted wound of 9/11 and the satanic beady-eyed Bush stood on the pile and said that you're either with us or you're with the terrorists. No middle ground. And his axis of evil and on he went. Nobody cared. All right. But we are, as I read the tea leaves, we are mostly united on our righteous feeling about this whore. We don't have any incentive to feel anything but either nothing or glee. That's our prerogative. Throughout our history, this white demon has expected us to take oppression, disrespect, murder and genocide, and then still love them. Nah, we're not doing that. So we need to actively stop supporting DL Huguley. I brought you a story the other day about these fake Christians who allegedly 14,000, well, nearly 14,000 of them, boycotted a DaBaby concert in Louisiana because he dared to portray himself. It was a metaphor, really. He was portraying himself as someone who's victimized. We all should have an image of us on a damn cross. But the uproar was that, and it was provoked by white people, because why would any African people be outraged to the point of boycotting a black artist over imitating a prophet who was sent only to African people? You see? So they express their ignorance and all of that. That's why they're Christians. Because the white man told them that somebody came and died for them so they can just live their godless, sinless, moralless, non-conviction-having asses. They could just live any life, and they're certainly going to paradise. And they will have a rude awakening on the great day. A rude awakening. Just a little bit of whatever the vomit is. I don't know if there's even any quotes here. When asked about Black Twitter's reaction to the Queen's passing, Huguley took issue with the lack of empathy. Huh? That's why I didn't have no empathy for his bitch ass when he allegedly faked that little COVID feigning that he did that was all publicized. He works with the white devil, everybody. We don't trust him. I've never had any love for D.L. Huguley. I don't find him funny. There's nothing inspirational about him. He just does not play my violin at all, period. The global reaction to the death of this whore has been a mixed bag. Yesterday, it was shared that the British monarch died peacefully at 96 years old. Well, that's the tragedy. You feel me? I feel like when you live a life of evil and you're perpetrating evil, you don't get to die peacefully. You understand? You see, um, and immediately there was a wave of condolences from white people and dumbasses, and quote, "God save the Queen," end quote, comments throughout the social media. However, not everyone expressed great grief over the longest reigning monarch's death. They don't put, not everybody grieved over the death of this evil whore and the institution for which she stands and was its monarch, or matriarch. However, okay, not everyone expects grief over the longest reigning whore, including thousands of Irish soccer fans who interrupted a game by chanting "Lizzie in a box" while in the stands. Well, I just think they picked the wrong song. It should have been "Ding Dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the wicked old witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the wicked old witch is dead." I like that one. Maybe a remix. We could probably bring in like Kanye to do like a rap or something. Maybe Jay-Z. We could get him in here. Uh, yeah, yeah. It's going to be on the next album. It's going to number one. I don't want to preview it, but anyways. Meanwhile, African Twitter, people with some sense and who ain't gonna be snowed by these demons, has and not going to be dictated what our feelings and reactions to anything should be, including this whore, has been targeted for their reaction to the news. Think about that. It has been targeted, like targeting black folks for having a fucking opinion. Bitch, target all day. Bring it. We ready for your ass. What you bringing for all this targeting? You feel me? We got targets too. So what about that? The language though. Black Twitter has been targeted for their reaction to the news. And when asked about it, the sellout, womanizer, and unfaithful husband and questionable sexuality condemned them. Quote, "I think that anybody that holds the idea that you can be sad for somebody when they pass on, I think lacks a level of humanity," said the comedian. Because that's the voice he said it in, because he's always drinking something that we don't know what's in the cup. And I've got some investigators on it, and it just doesn't look good what we're finding. I don't want to say too much, but it just does not look good what we're finding. It just doesn't look good. And then there's Charles and nobody cares. I'm not a monarchist, but I can see, even if you ain't a queen, somebody lost their grandmother. Well, bitch, because Alton Sterling's had a mother, and Eric Garner had a mother, and George Floyd had a mother and a grandmother, and Breonna Taylor had a mother and a grandmother, and Trayvon Martin had a mother and a father and a grandmother, and Philando Castile had a mother and a grandmother. All right, Sandra Bland had a mother and a so bite my ass, DL. You understand? Michael Jackson had a mother and an entire family that loved him, and they murked him off. So set your ass down, you drunkard. But what is this now? This is right up there with "we mustn't be mad at massa." That's what my black ears hear. I just can't turn it down. It's in stereo. Somebody lost a dear family member. Well, we've lost millions of family members, and we're always weeping over a family member we lost, and they show us they don't give a damn. Do you understand? Botham Jean had a mother and a family and siblings and a grandmother and a country that loved him. This dude is on fucking pills, dude. He's on drugs. He's on alcohol. There's some other things, and you won't believe what we're finding. All right. But so he expressed disappointment in people not having compassion for the evil oppressor of African people. And he's obviously tone deaf on what these British ass people have done and are continuing to do to our mother continent. So he needs to sat his ass down. You understand? I think it shows the lack of humanity that we kind of seem to be in for these days. Really? Because the only people on this bitch that have humanity and why the entire fucking earth is in an all-out war is because African people sadly remain peaceful, which makes way for everybody else's savagery. When asked about the Queen representing a monarchy responsible for global atrocities, some of which took place in her lifetime, this dumbass seemed dismissive. Well, that doesn't matter because he'd already stepped in it. He recognized that there have been, quote, problematic, end quote, ideals, just problematic. Problematic is you're leaving work for lunch and, oh my God, your driver's side tire is flat. That's problematic, you see. Or, oh my God, you're in an area where you can't get a cell signal. That's problematic, you see. Decades of oppression on a people, and we're not even get into Haiti and various countries in Africa and around the earth we can go, across the earth. You see, it problematic, but said, quote, her race is over now. Whatever she's done, she's gonna be judged for it. No, bitch, because they're still resurrecting Michael Jackson out of the grave to talk shit about him and to do full documentaries. And he had a trial and everything that said not guilty, nothing to see here. So what's good for the goose shall be good for the gander. And we determine that. So we will drag this bitch for filth until the last day of the earth. You understand? Do unto others as they do unto you. That's the golden rule. Watch DL Huguley drive home his point below. Don't need to. Because what you need to see is the following. You see, this is what real leaders do. Not that DL Huguley is a leader. I'm not even trying to imply that at all. He is not a leader. So we'll call him just someone with high visibility and a puppet for white supremacy and a spineless bastard. Now, here's what a real black man sounds like. We'll just see what it sounds like because we don't know, and this is a fact finding mission, and we just want to see if we can find out what a real black man sounds like. So we're just gonna look at it. Give me a second, y'all. This is what a real African and what a conscious African person who is aware of their reality and not some drugged out fantasy world that DL Huguley lives in. And interesting that his name is DL. I don't know if that's an indicator of something. Is that information? Is that an identity? I don't want to get into it because I've got people in the field and you won't believe what we're finding. All right. So, but now this is what a real African and how any sane African would express it. Let us hear this. This would be my brother, our family, our blood, His Excellency and leader of the E.F.F, the Economic Freedom Fighters of South Africa, Mr. Julius Malema.
Because we've seen in the recent past that people celebrate the death of a woman who presided over the genocide of black people in Africa and in South Africa in particular.
Glory.
The wars of resistance were against the British. And these people who are here today is because they were doing what they did to us through the blessings of this woman. You can't say we don't want borders, we don't want colonialism, we want a decolonized education. May her soul rest in peace. In one sentence. That is a political confusion. The position of the E.F.F. reawakened the whole world that these are the crimes that were committed by these people. And those who commit crime, even in their death, we must never celebrate them. We must remind them
Won't he do
that they've
it?
stolen
Won't he
that
do it?
which belongs to us. People must do the right thing when they are still alive, so that when they are dead, their good will follow them. It can't be that you want to become a good person and be praised because you are dead. We must never allow that. We remain
Amen.
a conquered nation.
You said that. You hear that? We must never allow that. You want good, then do good while your bitch ass is here. But I always tell you, white folks always want the credit without the work. Like Dr. King said, we want America to be who she says she is on paper. He was talking about the hypocrisy of America. And this is an attribute of white people across the earth, including this whore and Britain and the monarchy and anybody else, France. Yeah, we could just go down the list. They want credit to be seen as like they're this and the third, and they're exactly the extreme opposite of that. We must remain consistent. Shut up, Jedi, and let me hear Julius Malema.
That they've stolen that which belongs to us. People must do the right thing when they are still alive, so that when they are dead, their good will follow them. It can't be that you want to become a good person and be praised because you are dead. We must never allow that. We remain a conquered nation, and that conquering comes from our colonizer led by Britain and the Queen's family. And we must not be ashamed to say we do not mourn the death of a person who supported slavery of our people.
Give him praise and glory.
We do not mourn a person who died wearing our stolen diamond on her head, because that will be tantamount to celebrating criminals who die in possession of stolen goods. So they must know we are not with them, and we are not even going to shed any crocodile tears. We are not going to be pretentious. And if Cyril has given them condolences, he has done that condolences on behalf of himself and his nose, not the people of South Africa.
Glory.
So there's no one who's going to declare flags to be flying at half-mast here in South Africa. If he dare makes a mistake of declaring that the flags must fly at half-mast, we're going to look for those flags and make them to fly high, because we'll never allow
Amen.
the celebration of our colonizer.
Allahu
Did you
Akbar.
like or hate what you heard?
Because again, who thinks that, well, then let's do this then. Because they always expect for us to take it up the ass. So you have to challenge the system. You have to highlight the hypocrisy. So I ask you this now. Who would be asking for, and by the way, my understanding is that this DL, this Down Low Huguley, we'll just call him Down Low for now on everybody. So I'm patenting that now. Down Low Huguley. So I wonder if we ask Down Low Huguley, and this will show his true identity, not that we need it. We already see him. But we'll just ask him, do you think that Jews should celebrate, at the very least, and show compassion? Should they celebrate and have positive things to say about Hitler and crew? Because, apparently, according to them, you can oppress, maim, and kill and rule and colonize and shit. But apparently the moment you die, you become an angel, and none of that matters. It just doesn't matter. you see. And should we now have Michael Jackson Day? Because he was found not guilty by an all-white jury in an all-white county with an all-white prosecution team and a all-white judge, and they said nothing to see here. You see, what's good for the goose shall be good for the gander. So if you're asking us to have even a positive feeling and say compassionate things about this thieving whore, and as my brother pointed out there, who literally died with the stolen property of our continent on that fucked up crown she wore, you see, if we're supposed to celebrate her and she becomes a sudden angel with wings and she's just at the highest order of heaven, then why can't the same be for Hitler then, and Stalin, and and even though he's not dead yet, OJ, because all this compassion, I'm sure there's just enough to go around. You see, consistency, goddamn. You're gonna ask it of us, then damn it, you ask it of somebody else. And if they dumb enough to do the shit, that's on them. But as a people, we must establish our own standards. We say what is transgressing bounds, what is acceptable, what is not. Period. We don't need to accept just because it's the popular thing or because there's pressure. We're still being murdered by these motherfuckers here in this damn nation every damn day. As I speak, somebody's being murdered right now by their white ass. You see? So, no, not God save the queen, God get rid of that whore, and, whatever Allah sees fit to happen to her now in her grave, because that's where it begins. The grave is not the end, everybody. It is the beginning. It is the beginning. It is the beginning. And this is the same whore who wanted to know what color was the baby going to be that Meghan was going to have with Harry. You see, this is the same whore that disowned Diana, Princess of Wales, when she got with Dodi Al-Fayed, and wanted to know what color would the baby be if indeed, no, she was pissed that she got with Dodi Al-Fayed, had her murdered, and then this is the same whore that wondered what color the baby of Meghan was going to be when it was born and all of it. This is the same whore that when all the flags, as a British tradition, were at half mast after the death of Diana, Princess of Wales, this whore still had their flag at high mast, and the whole world was going, why can't this bitch just lower the flag? Why? And she begrudgingly, after public pressure, then she came out and very tight-lipped and very ornery, as my grandmama used to say, very ornery, delivered a quasi eulogy of Diana, Princess of Wales. We have to be consistent, everybody. We're not allowing anybody to, I don't care who they are, to ask shit of African people. Nah. As Mandela said in a very famous Ted Koppel interview that he did after he came out of prison, when Ted Koppel suggested to him about, I don't remember what country it was or different nations, and, when they don't like somebody, white people, they want everybody to join them when they're the enemy of all humanity. But Mandela said, I loosely quoting him now, said, your enemies are not our enemies. And it was a roaring, thunderous applause in the auditorium or whatever it is that they were in. All right. And they're still checking fault lines because the building shook so much from the applause and the thunderous support. You see? Nah, you don't get to tell us how to feel. We feel how we want to feel. That's it. We don't like the bitch. That's our prerogative. You feel me? Not going to get started on her attempts at bashing, and just not going to get into it. I don't need that evidence. I just don't need it. I don't need it. You see? But this is what a real African, a real leader, a man of conviction, but most of all of truth and consistency, these are the statements you make without apology. Not down low Hughley, you see? And I may have heard something about a secret lover. I don't want to get into it. I'm consulting with some lawyers right now, and we're looking at some things, and you won't believe what we're finding. You won't believe what we're finding. You won't believe it. So I just wanted to put out this little blaster because it is late. You could hear it in my voice. I really shouldn't be doing anything right now but laying my ass down and going to sleep. But I intended to speak on the Julius malema piece, but this DL Huguley thing just kind of sent me over the edge, and I'm really over it. So what is today? I don't know, but inshallah, we will be together, everybody, either on Friday or Saturday, and I'll blow this issue out a little bit more. And I will also address many of the things that many of you have been sending me and sharing me. I got a lot of links. You guys have given me a lot of homework. And inshallah, I'm going to get to it. Yeah, because I think that this is going to be the month where I need to kind of blast a lot of stuff out, because I don't really see, I see my time becoming very scarce as it relates to October. Because when we get into October, I'm literally going to have less than 30 days left. So, yeah. So, also, if you didn't see the video before this one, do go and see that. And I appreciate the reception to that video. And I address the death of this tyrant in the piece. As well as it was a multi-topic stream that we did, and it was really fantastic. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it here, everybody. I love you guys all, and inshallah, I will see you soon. This is the Jedi.